Hi everyone, welcome back to Form of Therapy. My name is Cheok PD, and today on the Culture Study, I will be reacting to a community request. I had several members from our Patreon community who wanted me to check out dodree's 꿈만 같았다, aka Just Like a Dream. So I got a little bit of forward advance information. This is a duo, a female duo under JYP. I don't know if you would necessarily call them idols. They are young women. However, it is very specifically traditional Korean music, slightly modernized. Now, when this was initially pitched to me, someone said that it's a JYP trot unit, and I steered far away from it because of that. I am not a fan of trot. However, I had several people who actually gave me a deeper explanation and said, no, it's actually traditional Korean music, not trot, which there is a difference if you guys didn't know. Both of them do have a sort of a traditional old-timey sound, but traditional Korean music has more emotion put into it, and trot is meant to be a bit more campy. So we're going to be checking out dodree's Just Like a Dream. It is a debut single. There is an additional B-side attached to it. If I like this, I'll check out the single on my Patreon as like a bonus reaction. But there is something to quantify about this title. It's 꿈만 같았다 in Korean, but in English it says Just Like a Dream. I just want to preface that there is a bit of a past tense nature to the term 꿈만 같았다. 꿈 같아, it would be just like a dream, present tense. It's like a dream. This is more, it was like a dream. There's a it already happened sort of a feeling to it. So let's go ahead and check out this music video. Are there subs? There are. 처음 본 순간에 You take my breath away. So when I heard traditional Korean music, I was expecting traditional instruments, but I wasn't expecting traditional style singing too. Oh, sword dancing. Notice how she said she was cut by your words and she's holding a sword. Oh wow, this is a traditional drum pattern. Oh. 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 Oh, that's not what I was expecting. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. They have her coming out of a traditional Korean closet. Ooh. Ooh. I can't believe they actually pulled this off really, really well. Everything about the vocal intonation is actually derived from a traditional Korean singing. That's crazy. Wow. Okay, I will definitely check out that B-side that is accompanying this single. I liked that a lot. dodree, huh? I wonder what that means. There's got to be, I'm sure, some kind of deeper meaning behind this group's name that I feel like is tied to Korean culture, because a lot of what I saw within both this music video and within the song and how it's created is definitely heavily influenced by the traditional style of Korean music. It's not just what I expected of utilizing Korean instruments, which it does, but it also utilized Korean style of vocalization, like traditional old folk style of singing. So that was really cool. Let me look up what dodree means. All right, so let's see. dodree is the name of a Korean crossover pop duo under JYP Entertainment's subsidiary Init Entertainment. The name combines dodree, a traditional Korean musical rhythm used in classical court music, jeongak, and free, representing liberty, aiming to merge traditional Korean sounds with modern pop music, which they did really, 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 really well. They don't rely too heavily on the pop aspect. The pop aspect comes in during the chorus. The pop aspect kind of like expands the sound out. The song feels like it's sort of lost in the beginning. It's like drifting, but that is intentional. The whole song lyrically, and a lot of these old Korean folk songs, are about loss. And the singer, the way she sings of being left behind, and she sings of this loss, which a lot of these old songs are typically about loss. And there is this feeling of her being unmoored because of it. Like she doesn't know her place, she doesn't know her home, she feels lost without this person. And so that's why it feels very scattered. But then the chorus really ties it together. That's where the pop elements come in. It kind of expands it out, and it gives the song a bit more energy. It gives the song a sense of almost purpose. Like she sounds more triumphant in the chorus of saying it felt like a dream. It almost feels like a proclamation. And then by the end of the song, she's saying, I've finally let you go. So there is a journey within the arc of the song in and of itself of her having lost this person, reflecting upon that, and then finally coming to the conclusion of letting them go, of healing within herself, as you saw with the imagery of the bridge being healed. So that's really cool. Visually, there's a lot of the music video that draws from traditional Korean elements. We can go through and point out those aspects of it. But I'm just more so just overall impressed. Like, this is a really, really good song. It's not just the fact that it doesn't feel campy. It doesn't feel like a experiment. It feels like, oh, we're taking this seriously. Oh, this is a really good traditional Korean song, and we're trying to revitalize this element of Korean culture, and we're actually taking this 100% seriously. So that is something that earnesty that I was surprisingly moved by, especially just growing up Korean. I am not a fan of trot, but I am a fan of traditional Korean folk music. There's a level of sorrow within traditional Korean folk music that is really, really hard to explain or replicate. And I feel like they did a great job with that. So let's go ahead and watch this again, shall we? All right. So, by the way, if you enjoyed this song and you like these traditional Korean elements, I also have a song recommendation for you. There is a song that I came across many years ago. It was from a Korean variety competition music program where it was a collaboration between several notable Korean artists. It's a song and there is a live performance. I highly recommend the live performance. In fact, I will link it in the description of this video below. It is called My Love by Yoon Min-soo and Song Ga-in and Cheetah. It is an incredible song. If you like this sorrowful nature of this song, I think you would really like that song as well. But let's go ahead and check out the music video.
처음 본 순간에 You take my breath away. Oh, 맘은 무너지네.
It's interesting to hear English sung in this accent.
차가운 말로 뱀 상처 남은 데.
Okay, so something I really like about the vocalists, I like that this isn't just soloist. I like the combination of their voices because the first person who sings, her voice is the more traditional, accurate version of that really guttural, sorrowful folk sound. This second singer, she does an amazing job, but something about it does feel a little bit more modern. It feels lighter and it feels a little bit more pop influenced. I don't know if she may be trained to be an idol. Like, she does a great job at singing in the traditional folk sound, but I do find that like it's actually a great marriage and harmony where like one person sounds a little bit more heavier and a little bit more in that traditional realm, and one person sounds a little bit more modern. So I think they balance each other out really well. So this is called a kalchun, which is sword dancing in Korean. Yeah, so she's lost, trying to find her way. You know what's crazy? This sounds, while this is very, very unique, other than the vocal part, this sounds like it. I know why I like it so much now. It touches on like this very bittersweet and this atmospheric sound that I think Sunmi does really well. I think this is something that a very early Sunmi, much earlier in her career, this is a song that she perhaps could have done. Not sung it in this way, but I think like the beat and the melody of this chorus, as well as the top lining, is something very Sunmi-esque. Love that part. The vocal line of that is just sounds so good. It's addictive. Might be my favorite part. And the 꿈만 같았다 part. Oh, this is interesting. So this is called a mother of pearl. It's called a mother of pearl dresser. So I grew up around these. I think anyone who's like born in the 90s might have grown up around these. Specifically, like my parents didn't have this, but my grandma did. Like, she imported this all the way from Korea. And so what it is it's the art of furniture made with wooden lacquer. And I believe there's like a shine you're going to see on the pattern of the doors. The shine of that, I think, comes from oyster shells, or mussel shells, oyster or mussel shells. So yeah, these were traditional Korean cabinets, and as you can see, she's being revealed and presented in it. You see that she's on top of a bunch of futons, and like the little I don't know what you would call these in English, pendants. Let me look this up. I don't know. When I look up dodree, it just says accessory. I don't think accessory is the right word. I don't know. It'd be like a charm or something. But these are called dodree, and you decorate it throughout either your house, handles, clothing, accessory. So that's what the little things are. But basically, the furniture for this, the purpose of this, you would have this typically in the bedroom. You could also have this in the living room, but typically in the bedroom. You would keep futons in there because most Koreans up until like the early 2000s slept on the floor. When I was a kid, I slept on the floor. You slept on futons. And when you woke up in the morning, you put the futons away and you had a dedicated futon closet where all the futons and the pillows went into. You would typically have multiple of these dressers. And so one would be the futon one and the other one would have like your actual clothes in it. Now, especially like ever since like I have gotten more in touch with K-pop and like more connected with my culture, and my grandma got rid of these a long time ago. But I thought about getting some of these. They're so expensive. They're like ridiculously expensive. Like one half of this size, I think, is like $4,000 now. Because like when you have to like get it imported from Korea, and you know this is kind of like a old and lost art form at this point, so they're very expensive. They were considered luxuries back then anyways, but even more so now. Well, I guess more of like they're more of a vintage luxury. I don't know what this animal actually is. I've always considered it just like a white peacock. It's a common within Korean traditional art prints and paintings. There are several animals that show up a lot, and that's going to be birds, peacocks, cranes. That is definitely not a crane. It kind of looks like a peacock to me, but I don't think it's a peacock because peacocks are, I don't know, maybe it's a Korean peacock or an Asian peacock where it's white, but peacocks, as I know it, are typically like blue and colorful. And tigers. So like there are like staple animals, and then there are insects like butterflies, which are also symbolized in this music video as well. Butterflies are also present in a lot of these Korean paintings. So that's what that is. So a lot of various references to traditional Korean ideas. Also love this. You were the light that lit my way. So you have this scene of her holding this light, but what I love is her eyes are closed, and then she does like the hand jutsu curse technique, and then like awakens her. But like first of all, I love the choreography. It was like a dream. It felt like a dream. So it's like already leaving her, right? It's a memory she has, but it's already departing her. That is such a brilliant choreography. I love that aspect, but I also loved what they did in that scene with the lights coming on. It's kind of like she's remembering, and as the act of remembering happens, the lights are turning on. So that room was almost a visual representation of her mind. So that was really cool. I assume the sphere behind them is supposed to represent represent the moon, which is also common imagery. And then obviously I feel like I don't have to explain this, but you know, they're wearing traditional Korean hanbok inspired outfits and dresses, as well as the architecture on the bridge behind them, as well as the palace roof tiles. This is all traditional Korean architecture. It's cool how that withered tree looks like butterfly wings, the way it's like styled out. You're a dream that feels like destiny. I love how gentle the dancing is during this final chorus, despite how powerful of a crash out it is. What was this scene here? Oh. So I don't know about all of the pottery, but I know like this is traditional Korean pottery. This is I believe this is the Korean moon vase, which is a popular style, or this might be the moon vase. I think this is the moon vase. This I believe is the Korean baekja, which is the Korean white porcelain pottery art, which is I think like the most expensive or like the most bougie, sophisticated form of Korean pottery and art. but you can recognize there's like traditional style of Korean pottery and it looks a certain way. This small one right here is definitely one. So that's cool. I love the imagery right here. I'm just noticing. So earlier it was like a clean moon, but now I think this is like, it looks like splatter. What's that art? Something, there's this some kind of like print art. I remember RM was like really into it. And he had like photo prints of it on his Indigo album. It looks like that, but projected over this moon, and it looks like the withered like plants and trees from their previous shots. That's really cool. Damn, that was good. And it's complete at the end. There were two halves missing, lost, looking for one another, and then together they come together in the end, and the butterfly is complete. Wow, guys, I can see why you wanted me to check that out. I loved it. I'm definitely going to check out the B-side for it. That's going to be on the Patreon. But in the meantime, just as a Korean person, I loved it. I want more of a traditional Korean influence in Korean music. I know there's like a big, there's a big amount of like K-pop audiences who are like, oh, K-pop is too American. I don't think so. I like where K-pop is at right now, frankly. I like the music. I like that it's smooth, but why can't we have the best of both worlds, right? Why can't we also have like the kitschy, wild, crazy, experimental stuff? But one thing that I feel like we've never really truly touched on is modernizing Korean traditional music. And I've always sort of wanted that. You know, there are a few examples here and there. What I expected was something like Techita from like Suga, but like not like the August D hardcore hip hop. I expected it was going to be like something like ballad or pop, but I want to see more of this. I want to see more of the Korea before it was called Korea, before the war and the imperialization of what Korea was before, was called Joseon. And I have always really, really loved and been fascinated by that aspect of my culture that was sort of lost and broken down, and Korea was built on the foundations of Joseon. And I've always wanted to see a return to sort of like not like Joseon ideals, but like incorporating like stuff from Joseon era and modernizing it. Like we do it often. Like we've seen like the modern hanboks, which look really cool, but I've wanted to see that more with music as well, and beyond just like using one specific Korean instrument like a kayagum or like a nanta, which are like these traditional Korean guitars, or like a drum, but like it, when you listen to it, it sounds like a traditional Korean song, but somehow modern. And JYP, of course, of all labels, kind of did it. They kind of nailed it. They had the marriage of the best of both worlds. Like they really honed in on that traditional sound, that sorrow, that han that Koreans describe. At the same time, at the same time making it sound modern and frankly pleasing. So that was really, really well done. I'm gonna definitely be keeping my eye on dodree. That is how you pronounce it, by the way. It can be a little confusing when you just look at the English. You might want to pronounce it as dodree or dodree or dodree. It is dodree. Dodree. So dodree is a girl group, a duo that I will be looking forward to. With that in mind, thank you for tuning in to my reaction and review to dodree's Like a Dream, Just Like a Dream, Just Like a Dream. If you want to see my reaction to that B-side, head on over to our Patreon. I do bonus reactions and listening parties, variety reactions, and all sorts of stuff over on my Patreon. Of course, you don't have to support the channel monetarily. It's just a place to get bonus reactions and to support the channel, keep the lights on. But if you want to support the channel for free, you can always just like the video down below. You can subscribe over here. I'll have a button for you here. And if you want to check out any of my other videos, if it's your first time here, go ahead, and I've got some end cards for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.